Hello everyone. So this is Vivek Kumar Mishra. Okay. So I will be teaching all of you. In this session we will start WRE. Okay. What is WRE? WRE is stands for Water Resources Engineering. Okay. This WRE is categorized into two parts. Okay. The one is called Irrigation Engineering and the another one is called Hydrology. Okay. In irrigation engineering we will deal with the water which is used for irrigation and agricultural purposes. Okay, this includes canal buildings, okay, water requirement for crops, etc., and such of these things. Okay. And hydrology deals with precipitations, means the water which is available to us in forms of rains, snow, and other means. Okay. So hydrology will be studied in the next session, which is in your 8th semester. In your 7th semester we will be studying only irrigation engineering. Okay, so as the term suggests, irrigation engineering only deals with some of the terms and the studies which are utilized in agriculture, such as water requirements, for crops, okay, canal buildings or canal construction, and various other construction which will be solely used for agricultural purposes. Okay, so the 2 and 3 chapters which will be more useful for us will be soil water relationship, okay, canal construction, okay, such of these things. Okay, so let's start with this water resource engineering. Water resource engineering, throughout this subject we will calling it as irrigation engineering. Okay, so let's start irrigation engineering. Okay, so okay, so what is actually irrigation? We all know what is irrigation. Irrigation means spreading of water into the fields for growing up crops and other agricultural purposes. Okay, but technically, in technical terms, the definition agriculture stand for the art or science by which accomplishment of control of nature, okay, man discovered, means we discovered methods, okay, means we human discovered, this can be written as we discovered methods by which water can be stored during excess rainfall and utilized during periods of drought. Okay, or it can be utilized when there is less rainfall. Okay, means storage of water. Okay, and utilizing the water at required time. Okay, this is the basic idea of irrigation, why the irrigation is used. Okay, it is also used in the sense to control methods, means methods by which we can manage the water requirement for crops. Okay, so this is the basic idea of irrigation. Now let's come to definition of irrigation. What is irrigation? The technical definition. Okay, it is science of artificial application, science of artificial application of water in control and efficient manner in accordance. Okay, means science. What is this artificial application of water in the crops? Artificial application, it can also be natural application. What is natural application? The natural application of water is through rains or other kind of things which are not controlled by humans. Okay, the science of artificial application means we have full over control over the methods and modes of application of irrigation, so that's why it's called artificial application. So it is the definition of artificial application of water in controlled and efficient manner in accordance with the crop requirements. Okay, in accordance with the crop requirements throughout the crop period. What is this crop period? The crop period is actually the time when the seeds are sown in the earth to the time when these seeds grows into a crops and these are harvested. The time which is spent during these two intervals is called crop period. Okay, the time at which seeds are sown in ground and when the grown crops are harvested. So this time period is called the crop time. Okay, I hope this is clear. Okay, so there are 2 or 3 terms which we have to get acquainted with to move further. The 2-3 terms are actually this is crop yield, okay, productivity, and water depth, which is also called delta, water depth delta. Okay, this delta will be used in further chapters, so it will be explained in detail in the coming chapters. Okay, so for the time being we will see what is crop yield and what is productivity. Okay, so what is crop yield? Crop yield is actually amount of crop in quintal quintal. 1 quintal is 100 kg. Okay, amount of crop in quintal obtained from 1 hectare of land. This is called crop yield. Okay, means the amount of crop in quintal or maybe something in kg that is obtained from 1 hectare of land is called crop yield. Okay, what is productivity? Productivity you can remember as quintal per hectare per mm. Okay, so what is the definition? Definition will be yield produced per unit depth of water. Okay, so this is the definition. Okay, now let's understand what this crop yield and crop productivity and this depth of water means. Okay, so let's move further. Suppose we have, actually in India we have 4 or 5 major crops that are grown. Okay, the 5 major crops are rice, jowar, okay, maize and wheat. Okay, let's assume these 4 crops. Okay, so the rice requires about, here we will be dealing with, this is water depth, okay, in centimeters. Okay, here we will write yield. Sorry, okay, here we will write productivity. Okay, so for good productivity, rice requires 120 centimeters of water. Okay, jowar requires 50 centimeters of water. One second. Okay, jowar requires around 50 centimeters of water. Maize requires 62.5 centimeters of water, and wheat requires 40 centimeters of water. Okay, the yield of the rice crop is 45, means it gives 45 quintals per hectare. Okay, this is the yield in the middle box. Okay, 45 hectares per, 45 quintals per hectare is the yield of rice. Okay, the yield of jowar is also 45. Okay, yield of maize is 50. Okay, and yield of wheat is 50. Okay, so what is the productivity of rice? Productivity of rice will be the yield provided productivity will be in yield per water depth, means what is the yield when the water depth is this much or this much. ओके मीन्स कहने का मतलब ये है कि हमारा प्रोडक्टिविटी क्या होगा, हम वो हमारा होगा यील्ड डिवाइडेड बाय वाटर रिक्वायरमेंट. ओके तो वाटर रिक्वायरमेंट हम अगर मिलीमीटर में लेंगे तो हमारा यील्ड कितना हो जाएगा फॉर राइस. राइस के लिए हमारा हो जाएगा 45 बाई 120 सेंटीमीटर. ओके बट ये हम लोग पर मिलीमीटर काउंट कर रहे हैं तो इंटू 10 ऊपर आ जाएगा. मीन्स यील्ड ऑफ राइस विल बी 3.75. ओके सिमिलरली जो हमारा यील्ड ऑफ ज्वार हो जाएगा वो भी सेम तरीके से हम लोग 45/50 करेंगे तो ये हमारा 9 आएगा. फॉर मेज इट विल बी 8 एंड फॉर व्हीट इट विल बी 12.5. ओके तो ये हमारा एक टेबल बन गया राइस के लिए, ज्वार के लिए, मेज के लिए, व्हीट के लिए. तो अगर हम इसका प्रोडक्टिविटी अगर कंपेयर करेंगे सो द प्रोडक्टिविटी ऑफ राइस इज़ 3.75. ओके means and the productivity of wheat is 12.5. why? Because in less amount of water means the water required for wheat is only 40 centimeters and the water required for rice is 120 centimeter. Okay means rice is consuming more water than wheat. Okay and the yield which is the amount of wheat produced in the land is 50 and here it is only 45 for rice. Okay so we see that yield of rice is less than that of wheat in more amount of water, so the productivity of rice is less and the productivity of wheat is more. So we can conclude over here. This table is very important. I will advise you to note down this table because it is a genuine data. Okay the thing that is mentioned in first table is, let me change the color first. Okay here it is delta, termed as delta. This one is yield and this one is productivity. Okay so you can write this table in your notebook. Okay and remember this data. Okay now let me explain the terms. Okay means here we see that productivity is yield upon water requirement. Okay so the productivity will be high when yield will be more and water requirement will be less. Okay जब हमारा वाटर रिक्वायरमेंट्स, हमारा जो वाटर रिक्वायरमेंट है मीन्स हम लोग कम पानी दे करके ज़्यादा यील्ड दे सकते हैं किसी क्रॉप का, तो उसका प्रोडक्टिविटी हम लोग हाई कंसिडर करेंगे. ओके तो यहाँ पे पॉइंट एक नोट क्या कर सकते हैं हम लोग. द पॉइंट टू बी नोटेड हियर इज दैट व्हीट requires less water to give high yield. Okay so it has high productivity. ओके आई होप कि ये टेबल क्लियर होगा. और प्रोडक्टिविटी, क्रॉप यील्ड एंड वाटर डेप्थ रिक्वायरमेंट, ये जो वाटर डेप्थ रिक्वायरमेंट है डेल्टा, इसको डेल्टा हम लोग टर्म करेंगे. यू विल स्टडी इट इन डिटेल इन द कमिंग चैप्टर्स. ओके सो देयर आर अदर मेथड्स which can be used to increase yield and productivity. Okay what are other methods? You have studied already in your primary classes that other methods that can be used to increase the productivity. Those things are land leveling and shaping, means proper cultivating the land. That land should be leveled and not ups and downs, okay, and it should be properly shaped. The second point is by using crop rotations. I hope you are all familiar with what is crop rotation. Crop rotation means in a same field we can grow two crops, means for season 1 we can grow crops A, and another for next 6 months or next season we can grow crop B, okay. Then in the next third season we can again grow crop A. So this is called crop rotation, means growing crops, first A, then B, then A, and then B, okay, means this is called crop rotation, okay. So the productivity can also be increased by using the method of crop rotation, okay. The third point is using high yield varieties of seeds. High yield varieties of seeds, okay. Seeds come in market in different varieties, okay, low quality, high quality seeds, okay. Then we should use the seeds which have high yield value, okay. The fourth point is using chemical fertilizers. But we should always maintain caution while using chemical fertilizers, because chemical destroy the crops, okay. So we should use in limited amount, okay. And the fifth point is methods of, means improved methods of irrigation, okay. Improving methods of irrigation, okay, or try new methods to improve the irrigation, okay. So till now we have discussed the basic things of irrigation. Now let's deal with some theory parts of irrigation, means what are advantages and disadvantages of irrigation. So let's talk about first what are advantages of irrigation. So the first advantage of irrigation, the first point is increase in food production. Obviously, if we use best kind of irrigation methods, then the food production will be enhanced, increased in food production. The second one is protection against drought, means if we irrigate, then the situations, harsh situations such as drought and less rainfall, okay, this can be controlled, means protection against drought, okay, means adequate irrigation ensures protection against crop failure, okay. If we use best methods of irrigation, then in spite of drought condition the crops will not fail and will continue to grow with good yield and good productivity, okay. The third advantage is revenue generation. How revenue is generated? If the productivity is high, okay, if productivity is high, then we can grow more varieties of crops and hence best amount of money can be generated. Okay, also we can try growing superior quality crops. Superior quality crops such as cash crops. These are termed as cash crops. Cash crops are always termed because they can generate high revenue. Okay, so that's why they are called cash crops. Okay, cash crops can also be generated to increase the revenue. Okay, the fourth point is power generation. Okay, how power is generated. Hydroelectric power may be generated at a small cost. Means while we were performing irrigation to irrigate the lands, the small quantity of water that can be utilized to generate a small quantity of hydroelectric powers. Okay, means we can utilize the power, we can utilize the energy of the water, energy of flowing water in turbines and something else in power stations to generate a small amount of electricity. Okay, so how can we write these things in a point wise? Means we can write as hydroelectric power can be generated, hydroelectric power can be generated at a small cost on project which were planned for irrigation. Okay, the next point is groundwater table quality can be improved. How groundwater quality can be improved? Because while continuous irrigation will lead to accumulation of water इन ग्राउंड मीन्स हम ज़्यादा अगर इरीगेशन यूज़ करेंगे तो ग्राउंड वाटर टेबल जो है वो हमारा राइज करेगा और इम्प्रूव कभी नीचे की तरफ नहीं जाएगा, हमेशा कांस्टेंट लेवल पे बना रहेगा. ओके, तो इसलिए हम लोग ग्राउंड वाटर टेबल हमेशा कभी स्कार्स नहीं होगा. So these were the points regarding the advantages of irrigation. There may also be some of disadvantages of irrigation. So there are 2 or 3 points that are to be discussed about disadvantages of irrigation. So let's now discuss that. Disadvantages. So the first point that comes in disadvantage is excessive irrigation. Okay, irrigation is useful in limited manner. Okay, if we do excessive irrigation, then excessive irrigation will lead to large amount of water accumulation on the surface, which leads to water logging. Okay, so this term is excess irrigation will lead to वाटर लॉगिंग. वाटर लॉगिंग मीन्स पानी का जो खेतों में जमा हो जाना होता है उसे वाटर लॉगिंग कहते हैं. ओके, and this water logging, it is harmful for crops. Okay, this waterlogging is harmful for crops. Okay, the second point is irrigation leads to seepage of nitrates in groundwater टेबल. ओके, मीन्स होता क्या है कि जब हम ज़्यादा इरिगेशन करते हैं और उसमें फिर फर्टिलाइजर डालते हैं, मीन्स हमारा ये खेत है, इसमें हम फर्टिलाइजर्स यूज़ कर रहे हैं, तो जब पानी हमारा ग्राउंड वाटर टेबल में जाता है तो साथ में ये फर्टिलाइजर्स को भी ले करके ग्राउंड वाटर में चला जाता है. मीन्स हमारा जो ग्राउंड वाटर टेबल है उसमें एक्सेसिव फर्टिलाइजर्स इंटर कर गया. तो फर्टिलाइजर में क्या होता है, नाइट्रेट्स होता है. नाइट्रेट्स इज़ हार्मफुल फॉर सॉइल्स. ओके, एंड दिस nitrites and nitrates, okay, are harmful for soils. Okay, and pollute the groundwater. Okay, so these are the two disadvantages. Okay, so we can say that if this is a good point to be noted, if irrigation is, or maybe termed as irrigation water, if irrigation water is used judiciously with proper scientific consideration, then there will not be any ill effects. Okay, means excessive irrigation harmful. Okay, excessive irrigation is harmful. And now our next topic is types of irrigation projects. Okay, irrigation project may be of three types. Okay, the types are major irrigation project, medium irrigation project, and small irrigation project. Okay, now let's study about this. The major irrigation project the irrigation potential, means the area to be irrigated under, is means area under irrigation. It it is called irrigation potential. Okay, this is about it should be greater than 10,000 hectare. Okay, remember this thing, the irrigation potential is greater than 10,000 hectares. The area to be irrigated is more than 10,000 hectares, and the cost of irrigation is greater than 5 crores. Okay, then the term is used is major irrigation project. Okay, what is medium irrigation project? The area means the irrigation potential is about 2,000 to 10,000 hectares. Okay, and the cost of the project is 0.25 to 0.5 crores. Okay, not 0.5, it's actually 5. If we are using medium irrigation project, then irrigation potential is 2,000 to 10,000 hectares, and the cost of project is 0.25 crore to 5 crores. Okay, the third one is a small irrigation project. Here the irrigation potential is less than 2,000 hectares, and the cost of project is 0.25 to 0.5 crore. Okay, this is the 3 types of irrigation projects. Okay, in India, the total irrigation potential, it is a point that you should remember, the total irrigation potential is 113 mega hectare. Okay, what is mega hectare? Mega means 10 to the power 6. Okay, okay, so now we will move towards types of irrigation. Okay, what are types of irrigation? The irrigation may be divided into 2 types, which is let's make a tree over here. If we write here types of irrigation and make a tree, then it should be divided into surface irrigation and subsurface irrigation. Okay, surface irrigation is further divided into flow irrigation and then lift irrigation. Okay, and subsurface irrigation is categorized under natural and artificial. Okay, now this flow irrigation, it is further categorized into two parts, which is perennial and flood. Okay, this is flood written. Okay, now let's make it in another page. Means this surface irrigation was categorized into flow irrigation and lift irrigation, and this flow irrigation was perennial irrigation and flood irrigation. Okay, so we will see it one by one in detail. In this chapter we are remaining with only two types of topics. The first topic that we are lifting over here is types of irrigation, which we will see it in details in next sessions, and methods of irrigation. Okay, these are two different things. Types of irrigation means in which the irrigation are categorized into types which are maybe surface irrigation or subsurface irrigation, and methods of irrigation is actually what are the methods that we will utilize while to irrigate the field. Okay, so the types of irrigation types, we will see surface and subsurface. What is surface irrigation? Surface irrigation is that type of irrigation in which the water is applied on the field from over the surface, over the top. Okay, and the subsurface irrigation is if this is the land and these are the crops that are growing over here, then a pipe or underground arrangement is made, and from here underground arrangement the water is provided, then this is category of subsurface irrigation. Okay, so we'll see it in detail. The next things is method of irrigation. In methods of irrigation we have 7 methods of irrigation. Okay, what are the 7 methods? The first one is free flooding. The second one is border flooding. The third one is furrow method. The fourth one is the third one we can see check flooding. The fourth one is basin flooding. Okay, the fifth one is furrow method or furrow irrigation. The sixth one is sprinkler. Method. The seventh one is drip irrigation method. Okay, so now these two topics, types and methods, we will see in next chapter. Okay, so that was all for now, students. Okay, if you have any doubts, feel free to ask and write down in the comment section or anywhere. You can ask me personally if you want to. So that was all for now. Okay, enjoy, stay happy, bye.